on a second. God's Lord. I realize I had all that. I knew I got some on me, but whoo! Just finishing up the evening feeding. I always feed the chickens some grain, and the horses get hay and grain twice. Well, they don't get grain twice a day because this bunch right here, they'd be on my 600-pound wife if they got grain twice a day. But I usually do the grain in the evening. That way I'm training them to when we get a barn, I can call them in and put them up in the evenings. But anyway, I will tell you one thing. This is just non-scale victory type stuff. This is just me talking and just being honest and telling y'all, like, normally I have to take a break. Like, I have to feed the chickens, and then I have to get back in the car, and I just turn on the air, and I'm like, oh, I'm dying. And today, I'm eventually get to where I don't have to drive this car around and do it. But now, I want to show, well, I'll show you one of these days how it's a pretty good little distance. And it wouldn't hurt me to walk it. I need to walk it. But I'm not quite there yet. My left knee's bothering me today. But anyway, normally I have to feed the chickens. I have to climb back in the car. And I just sit here and rest with the air on. Today, I dropped off Bandit Bible School. Came back to the house, pulled in. Got out, fed the chickens. And all the things. The ducks and the guineas and the turkey and everybody. And the goats. They get their grain then too. And then come straight down here. Got me a bale of hay, throwed it in, grained everybody, even put a little down for that little mommy Bainey chicken. She's had her babies moved up here for, well, and Lord, I'm glad I didn't pull off because, honey, I've left the water hose on. Hold on. Oh, I've left it on, people. I'm bad for that. You just need to get somewhere together. You little crazy chickens. Look here, it's already overflowing. Look at this. Just imagine if I'd left that on all right. What a mess that would have been. Oh, and let me tell you something. You see this water hose right here? That is just a mid-grade water hose from Harbor Freight. Now, I went to Lowe's when we first started the summer, and I paid tons of money for them heavy-duty contractor hoses. You know how many of them I still have? None. I have had to replace them all. And we didn't have a bunch of extra money. So I went to Harbor Freight. And I got those hoses. And I want to tell you, those Harbor Freight water hoses are the deal. See, this is see all these weeds right here? I have got to get those weed-eated, because this is the chickens are enjoying it because it's a little tick paradise. But unfortunately, snakes are also very attracted to that. Now we're fixing to do this. Let me tell you what we're going to do. We don't utilize this chicken coop anymore. Not really. They roost in here, but I'm getting ready to move. I'm getting ready to tear this down. I'm going to expand the horse and pony pen with these panels, and we're going to just move. Listen, Jeffrey, quit. We're going to move the goat hut and put some fencing around. Yeah, I got to put the goats up because these mamas are getting ready to have more babies, probably in August. And so we're going to have to rearrange some things. Me and Anthony are going to sit down this weekend and try to figure out. But I know the chicken coop's coming down this weekend. Now, all their roosting stuff, where they roost at and stuff, we're going to redo all that. This little hut right here, this little thing right here, is going to get some roosting bars put in it. And they roost in this little, that's the first coop I bought back there. And then that's the hoop coop thingy. And, so yeah, we're going to redo a few things. And, you know, yeah. Oh, the ducks are I just filled up their pool. See, there's fresh water all over this place. Everybody was on there day long. Lord, that chicken's overheating. No, it's not. See, look, hang on. The ducks. They'll make a mess of it. I have to empty that out every day and clean that out. But they do love their fresh water that I put in, and I usually fill it up twice a day. I usually come up here in the morning and do it. If it's not too dirty, I usually wait till the evening to do it. But yeah. So there's that, and then you all already giving me down the road anyway, but let me show you some real hillbilly deluxe type stuff. Hold on a second. Now, first of all, overlook the trash can. You know what? Don't overlook it. It's just there. It's just there because I haven't moved it. And I was picking up the yard and doing, and that's where it got left. But look here. This redneck palace right here. Lord honey, I've been hanging blankets out all day. So that's the last batch I'm hanging out this evening. Because, you know, when the dew falls, ain't going to do no good anyway. And turn this big rig around so I can just pull out. But yeah, so it's been a good productive day. I got most of the blankets are washed now. And that's a good thing. Because, honey, let me tell you, my laundry room is starting to get, well, the bathroom, which is where the washer and dryer are, was starting to get really crazy. Yeah. We had a lot of blankets, and I've still got a few more to do tomorrow. I'm going to try to wash them tonight. Well, I will. I need to catch up on, I need to do the laundry, the clothes and stuff tonight, and put them in the dryer. Tomorrow morning, first thing, we're starting on blankets again to hang out. I can get 2 big blankets across this beam on my porch. Or I can get, as you can see, I've got 4 of the throw blankets if I hang them correctly. So, yeah. Get it done. Where is your son? Joyce wants to know. He's at Vacation Bible School learning about Jesus. Hopefully. Although, he did come home, was it yesterday or the day before? It was the day before. He made this yesterday. It says, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, nothing will be impossible for you. Look here. He made this. Isn't that cute? And then he brought this. But I don't know. It is a container of dirt. But I don't know. And then a bag of cedar shavings. That smell good. I'm not sure what this is about. I'm sure there was some kind of lesson that was taught there, but he was very tickled and he brought it. So, anyways, the day before yesterday, he brought home a paper that was rolled up like a scroll, and then it had a ribbon tied around it. And he was very excited about it. He handed it to me. He's like, Mom, won't you look what I drew? And on the front, on the one side, it said, God changes things. And he had his name and stuff, you know. I was like, oh, that's so pretty, man, and that's awesome. Yes, God does change things. And then he goes, no, turn it over. So I turn over, and on the back side, he's colored the whole page blue, and there's a big whale, like a sperm whale, like a big whale. And then there's a little, like, yellow golden fish swimming up toward its mouth. And I was like, oh, cool, what was this right here? And in my head, I'm thinking, well, surely, they talked about Jonah and the whale, And he was like, it's the whale, Mom, the whale. I said, okay, cool, the whale. Tell me the story. What happened? He says, the whale, Mom, the whale. I said, are you talking about Jonah and the whale? Yes, Jonah and the whale. I said, well, tell me about it. This is what he proceeds to tell me. The whale was in the ocean. And there was a goldfish, aka the little yellowfish. And he said the whale tried to eat the golden fish. And then the golden fish's mom came and smacked the whale in the face because she was mad because the whale tried to eat her baby. This went on for like 5 minutes. Not even a shred. Not a shred of biblical evidence that he even had comprehended even one minute point about Jonah and the whale. It's pretty cool. So, Kim wants to know, why don't you go to church like you used to? You used to enjoy going so much, and I do enjoy church. My biggest problem happened when the church that we attended, Anthony and I, it fell apart. It broke up, and it was hard for me and Anthony, because we really enjoyed that church so much, and really loved the pastor and just everything, and just loved it so much. And so after that, I got a real bad taste in my mouth, and then we started visiting churches, and some of them were okay. We loved this one little church in London that we had started going to, and then we moved. And I really love the little church that I share on here all the time. But here's the problem. If I start going to church, I'm going to have to keep that a secret. Like, I can't talk about that part of my life. Because the people on here that give me so much issue and so much trouble, they have contacted the pastor of the little church I share on here all the time, where I grew up my whole life. That's literally like a 10-minute drive away from me now that I could actually go to. But I can't bring that drama to them. I just can't do it. I just cannot, I can't. I just, and of course they would say, just come on. I've ran into people out, and they're like, when are you going to come, when are you going to come by? I'm like, I can't do it to y'all. These people are relentless. They're crazy. I'd like to find a good church, but again, I'll have to keep it a secret. I'll have to keep it on the DL. Because they've already contacted that church, contacted the pastor, tried to tell on me for this or that or the other. And what they don't understand, these people know me. They've known me for many, many years. They are aware that this is all just malarkey. But it's embarrassing. And it's a lot of extra drama on that little church that I just don't feel like burdening them with. And also, too, a lot of these churches that I have visited, there is no love in the church anymore. Like, I know if somebody came to visit our little church, we rolled out the welcome mat. Like, thank you. We're so glad you're here. And some churches you go to now, and they're like, outsiders. What do they want? Why are they here? They're going to disrupt the flow. It's just weird. It's just weird. But anyway, long story short, those are the reasons why. And I am definitely going to get my family in church. And we're going to do that for sure and for certain. But it's just gonna take a little effort on our part. So hopefully we can get there soon. Anyways, I love yins, and I'm gonna jump off here. I've got to go in here and scurry up something to eat. My eggs are gone. That has left, and I'm feeling the hunger pains, and so it's probably time to try to make something for dinner. And it's almost 7 o'clock, so that's about right. So I'll share with you what I make, and that way we're all being held accountable. But I've still got a half of an avocado, and I've still got some of the sweet potato, but I really don't want the sweet potato in this time of the evening. So I don't know, we'll try to come up with something. I really wish that I had went to the store, but I didn't. Probably going to do a big grocery haul this weekend. Probably going to take a lot of the stuff in my pantry that's no longer going to be something that I need to be tempted with, and taking and just filling the blessing box over at the church is empty. Me and Anthony went by there, I think on Monday evening while Vanna was at Bible school. We drove by. I like to try to keep it full as often as I can, and I just hadn't been there in a little while, and it'd been like 3 weeks, and it's empty. And people are adding to it all the time, and it's just, there's a need in that community. So I'm going to go by there this weekend and take all of our stuff that I'm no longer, like all the pastas and the things, and send them on down the line. So anyways, I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon.